Hello, hello, and welcome to Verbling. I'm teacher Oakley, and in the next hour, we are going to focus our attention on learning about proper use of prepositions. Uh, we'll kind of do a little bit of everything, basically trying to focus on some normal ESL language learner mistakes, some mistakes that are frequently made with prepositions. For example, we'll take a pretty close look at to and for. Also, at, how to use at properly. We'll look at some special circumstances, collocations with prepositions, and words or phrases that are often that are a little confusing and often cause mistakes. In addition, at the kind of back end of the class, the last half an hour, 20 minutes or so, we will be doing some fill in the blank exercises, obviously with prepositions. And as we do the exercises, we can talk about the why and what and how. Okay, that's the plan. So if you'd like to improve your use of prepositions, come on in. There's plenty of room in the class. And let's learn a little something. All right, let me start by welcoming Meeson. Hi, Meeson.
Hi, good evening, teacher.
Good morning, or good afternoon. I don't know, whatever it is. Good day. Oh, good evening. Okay, to you. Okay. Anyway, nice to have you in class again. Welcome. All right. I see no reason to waste any more time here, so let's jump right to it. Okay. What am I starting with? Okay. I'm going to do a screen share here, talk to you about some of these prepositional use. I'm going to show you a bunch of things. If you have any questions, don't be shy. Feel free to interrupt me or write a message in the Verbling chat box, and I will be sure to do my best to answer it. All right, let me first welcome Heidi. Hello, Heidi. How are you?
Hello, nice to see you.
Oh, nice to have you here.
New Year in your country, no?
Chinese. I'm sorry? Chinese New Year?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay, there's a yes, no. in the mainstream, no, not really. But there are a number of families here in the Philippines where I now live.
In Manila,
do.
there are a lot of Chinese.
Yeah, there's a lot of families that have some Chinese, they have a Chinese grandmother or something like that. So some people do celebrate the Chinese New Year. Yeah. Not everybody, but I've attended a celebration here before, so I know it does happen. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, is today Chinese New Year? Is it today?
Not today. I'm not sure about the date, but
I'm not either.
I looked news from China. It's New Year's Day, so many people are going back to their hometown.
Yeah, there's a lot of traveling going on. What is the actual, Meeson, do you know the actual day, Chinese New Year?
I don't know.
You don't know either?
I forgot.
You forgot.
The Chinese New Year Day.
Yeah, me too. Okay, well, just in case, Meeson, Heidi, Happy New Year. Just in case, just to be sure, just to be safe. All right. Ooh, that's a weird picture. Okay, Hogan, hello, welcome. Hi, Hogan.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay.
Can you hear me?
I can, but you're a little bit robotic. There's a little bit of a connection problem. You're sounding You're echoing and roboting.
Okay, I will be back then.
Okay, we'll see you in a bit. All right. Okay, let's go. Let's do this. All right. First, we're going to talk a little bit about 4 and 2 here. Okay, because it's a common error, language learner error, to use 2 instead of 4. So here's some explanations, some circumstances where we tend to use 4, and I do say tend. The problem with these prepositions is the rules are not rules, they're guidelines, and there's exceptions, and there are specific preposition noun collocations where there's exceptions. So here's some guidelines I can present you with. Remember, they're guidelines. Okay. Francisco has also joined us. Hi, Francisco.
Hi, teacher. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Hogan, check 1, check 2, check.
Hello? Hello?
That's better.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, it's better. Okay. It's definitely better.
Hello?
Hello. Maybe he
Better,
can't
but
hear.
it's not good?
It's not perfect, but it's better.
Hello?
Okay. Well,
Oh no, it's not.
well, all right. Well, hang on. I'm going to be presenting some material for about 10 to 20 minutes here, and then talking to you guys a lot more. So hang on, maybe it'll clear up. Okay. 2 and 4. Let's talk about 4. Whew. All right, let's get to this. Okay. We generally, usually, and again, guidelines, usually follow 4 with a gerund. That is an ing form of a verb to speak of a consequence or the cause or the purpose why you do something. It's for, a pen is for writing, like that. Okay, or possibly a consequence. She got a $100 ticket for speeding, and it doesn't. The consequence can be good or bad. She got an invitation to the political forum for speaking up at the Chamber of Commerce network meeting. Okay, speak up is a phrasal verb. Phrasal verbs in every way act the same as ordinary one-word verb. Phrasal verbs, of course, are made up of a verb and a preposition. This is important since we're talking about prepositions, because speaking up here is not, it is no longer a preposition. So all of the qualities, characteristics, functions of a preposition are not applicable at all. You must consider up here as part of the verb. You have to think about speak up as a unit and think of it as a verb. So just like any other normal verb, you can use any verb tense, perfects, passives, past, future, whatever. You can also use phrasal verbs as infinitives or gerunds. And that's what is occurring here. This is a phrasal verb being used as a gerund. Okay, actually, sometimes this is confusing, just figuring out, especially for language learners, if the particle, that's what it's called. When it's part of a phrasal verb, it's now a particle or a part. In fact, it's an adverbial particle, an adverb part. An adverb because it's modifying the verb. Okay, so that's one area, one thing you need to pay particular attention to if you're writing in English or speaking in English is it actually a preposition, or is it an adverbial particle, part of another verb? They were rewarded for capturing the great white shark. Okay. Frequently after the ing verb. Okay. As I mentioned, we also use for to speak of a purpose what something does or why it exists. For example, this type of fishing rod is used for deep sea fishing. Okay, a pen is used for writing. A bicycle is used for bicycle riding. Okay, all right. Another general purpose. Yeah, okay. Also, a purpose is to talk about purpose, something that has a purpose or is set aside. Whoops. Oh, that's wrong. Not set aside. It should be just set aside. Set aside for a purpose. Meeson, do you know what that means? Something is set aside.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
We could say reserved for a purpose. Okay, like you make reservations in a restaurant, they set aside a table for you. They reserve it. They okay. It's got your name on it. That's the idea. Okay.
Okay. Kind of keep aside.
Yeah, keep aside. It's the same thing. Set, keep, set.
Mhm.
Same thing. Earmarked is another word here. Earmarked, reserved, whatever. Something is reserved or earmarked for someone to have or use. For example, the food at the receptionist desk is for the meeting. Okay, basically it's showing the purpose. Why is the food there? Again, you know, why or purpose. For is used to answer why. And one most important thing here, generally, again, guidelines, generally for is followed by a noun or a noun phrase to express purpose. If the purpose is an action, that is when we use the infinitive and we use to run. He uses his legs to run. The purpose of his legs is an action, to run. If we want to say it another way, the purpose of his legs are for running. Because a gerund, an ing form, is actually, it functions in every way like a noun. So there you go. For noun to verb. Okay. When we're talking about purpose. Yes. Hello. Andre?
Purpose. You don't pronounce O.
Yeah, it's not like it would sound like a dolphin if you say purpose. Sounds like porpoise. No, purpose. This is a fundamental element of English. The purpose, the first syllable is stressed, so four things happen. The stressed syllable is pronounced higher pitch, higher. The stressed syllable vowel sound is stretched, longer. It is often louder than the other syllables, and it is also a full vowel sound. In contrast, the second syllable, pus, is an unstressed syllable. That means it is basically medium pitch, just neutral pitch, very, very short as you can possibly pronounce it. It is a normal, it's not louder in any way, ever. In fact, it may be softer. And most of all, it is always reduced to a short sound, usually schwa, as in purpose, puss, just a sometimes a short e or a short I, but it's always reduced to a very short sound. So that is a fundamental rule with every single word that you will ever learn in English. Okay? Sandwich, which is reduced, it's very short. Sand is higher, it's stretched. Factory, fact is higher, treat, very fast. You see how that works? That is fundamental. That is every single word in English.
Mais you blank O in factory.
Factory, I don't even say it. That's right. I reduce pronunciation to such a degree that it sounds like two syllables. That's how much we don't care about unstressed syllables. Sometimes we just drop them entirely.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right, moving on with today's lesson, which is prepositions. Let's talk about to. We use to in a verb to express purpose. Okay, exactly what I just said. Another purpose of to is to show motion, movement, or transfer. Transfer, however it's easier for you to think about it, doesn't really matter. Movement, motion, transfer one to another. When I talk to you, all right, information is transferring from me to you. We're walking to the park, to the market, to the bus stop. A very common mistake is when people say arrive to. This is wrong. The verb arrive means you're already there. You're no longer moving. So there is no transfer, motion, or movement. So this is a very common mistake that people don't realize that they're not following this fundamental rule or guideline. It's about motion and movement. Okay, Heidi, what's the difference between throw to? Okay, let's say I have a dog and I want to throw a ball. What's the difference between throwing the ball at the dog, to the dog, and for the dog? What's the difference?
Throw at some point.
Well,
No.
throw at the dog, I want to hit the dog, I want to hurt the dog. I want it to hit his head and cause him pain.
Some point.
Yeah, a specific point. Yes, you're right. But
To is maybe against something.
to is basically the idea is you're transferring. You're moving the ball from me to you. You know, no doubt you want the dog to catch the ball. Okay. How about throw for?
For is toward something.
In this case, for is we also another difference with to and for is we use for as in a benefit. If I say I have a book I want to give to you, I just want to transfer it from me to you. If I have a book for you, apparently I believe this book will somehow benefit you or help you.
For example, I threw a bone for the dog.
Yeah, so the dog could get exercise, so he could have fun, to make the dog happy, all of those things, for his benefit. I love my dog. Okay, like that. That's the idea. Okay. All right, so basically that's it. Okay, all right, transfer. Okay, I think we already talked about this. For the benefit of, that's what I was talking about. I will do that for you. Or for purpose, this brush is for painting. Again, I know I've already said it. These rules aren't written in stone. You can consider them more like a guideline. All right. Let's move on to some other material. Well, I guess I should. Oh, well, we've already talked, but hi, Andre. Hi again. Anyway, okay, let's see here. What's wrong with this material? Why is it? I had some materials jumping around on my page, but all right, hang on. Okay, let's talk about some other problem areas, some other prepositions that are sometimes confusing. Okay. At. Okay. Also, at explains where you or someone else or something is at the time of speaking, specifically at that moment. Okay, she is at the station implies that or emphasizes that that's where she is right now. I'm at the shops right now. Exception. Something to remember. You cannot use at with countries or cities or towns. No. In that case, we use in. She is in Spain. She is in Madrid. She is in Europe. Whatever. Okay. Not at. You say to in order to talk about someone else or something.
나
Hello?
한쪽은 왜? 뭐 하려고?
Mason? Yeah, thank you. Okay. You say to talk about someone else or something else that is in a different location now. Okay, here's an important point. You cannot use to talk about where you are right now. It sounds very strange. So she went to the station. Okay, multiple functions. I'm kind of explaining where she probably is right now, and I'm explaining go movement with to. I'm doing really two things at once. I'm explaining the movement or the transfer of her to the station, and I'm explaining where she's going. So she's in a different location. She went, okay, it's past tense, but we basically are assuming that she's at the station. So in this case, it really has the same meaning. She's at the station, she went to the station, she is in the station has the meaning she's inside the boundaries or the walls of the station. So all three of those could be used, and the essential information is the same, basically. Okay, another area of possible confusion. For, since, and ago. Okay, for, in this case, when you're talking about time, shows a period of time. He has been traveling for 5 years. You use since to indicate one specific time in the past. I know specific time or non-specific time, it can be very confusing. This often dictates not only prepositions, but often verb tense as well. Okay, since, you will see he has been traveling since 2007. When we use since as a preposition, you're pretty much locked into using the present perfect tense. You have to use present perfect, that is has or have, plus the past participle of the verb. You have to, because since means from a time in the past until now, which is exactly the function of present perfect tense. They're both, the purpose of the tense and the purpose of the preposition are exactly identical. So you have to. Oh yeah, and that reminds me. Okay, since is an example of a preposition that has more than one function. It can also be used as a subordinator, basically meaning because. Since you are tired, you should lie down. Since you're tired here is because you are tired. There's nothing about a time here. So this is a different function. Keep that in mind, and that's another area of possible confusion when looking at prepositions. Is it actually a preposition? Is it used as something else, a conjunction, or as I mentioned earlier, as part of a phrasal verb? So be aware of that. Ago, always just remember this. If you're going to use ago, you need to use a past tense, past simple or past progressive, whatever. Okay. Some collocations: arrive in, come to, whatever. All right, the collocations that go together, verb and preposition, the words that go together, arrive in and come to. Here's another area that I often hear mistakes in, is using prepositions plus the verbs come and go. Okay. You go to some place where you're not. I'm going to the mall. I need to go to work. You come, or somebody comes to where you are. My wife came home at 2 o'clock. That would assume that you are home. If you are at work, you would say my wife went home at 2 o'clock, because you're not at home. You say come when you're there and go when you're not there. Okay. When it's a general place, you can use arrive at. I arrived at the airport. I arrived at my house. I arrived at the cinema. You use in. Again, you can't use at for countries or cities. So in that case, you use arrive in. Okay, they will arrive in London. It's a city. Or you could say they will come to London. This would assume that, of course, they will come to London assumes that you are in London. If you're not in London, you would say they will go to London. That's my point there. Okay, here's again with a 4 and 2, another illustration of how they're used differently. If someone or something is good or bad for you, here we're talking about benefit. They have a positive or negative effect on your physical and or mental well-being or emotional well-being. They're good for you. They benefit you in some way. It's not talking about actions. If someone is good to you, again, for, it's multi-purpose. It's showing benefit. You know, it's describing the why as a noun, a benefit. Okay. Okay, your well-being. If they're good to you, then you're talking about actions. Again, we use to for actions, generally speaking, and for nouns. This is the idea. Okay, my boyfriend is good for me because he's relaxed and kind and he makes me emotionally secure, whatever. If he's good to me, that means he cooks you dinner, he gives you a massage, he does physical actions that you enjoy or whatever. Okay, so for example, you can say fruit is good for my body. However, you cannot say fruit is good to my body. That makes no sense. Fruit is not a living thing. How can it perform an action directed at you? It can't. So that doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, which is, all right, that's what I just said. Okay. All right. We already talked about 4 and 2 with nouns and verbs. Okay, finally, and then we're going to do a little self-testing here. Some kind of common mistakes here, kind of exceptions to be aware of. All right. Married to. I'm married to Elizabeth. He's married to my cousin. Not married with. This is a common mistake. We just never, we can't say married with. It doesn't make sense. Another common mistake, ask me a question, not ask to me. Or he asked me a question yesterday, not he asked to me. A very common mistake. However, with explain, you do need to explain to me. In fact, there's often mistakes with basically all the verbs that have to do with speaking. Said to me, told me. Asked me, explained to me. Shouted at me or shouted to me, not shouted me. So it's worth taking a little extra time and studying those and understanding which ones need to have normally the preposition to and which ones do not. The reason for that is, and there's no actual, I don't know, there's no logical way to divide all these verbs that mean speaking, but some of them are transitive and some of them are intransitive, which means some of them take an object noun, tell, me, object noun, me, and some of them are intransitive and they don't take an object noun, said to me. So you need to create a prepositional phrase. Okay. And another classic mistake and an exception. Okay. Obviously, when we're talking about going places, I'm going to the mall, to the library, to Spain, whatever. The one exception is home. We cannot say I'm going to home. We don't use to with home. We just don't ever use to with home. But it is an exception. Okay. Alrighty now. Any questions about any of this so far? At all? Okay. If not, here we go. Time for you guys to do some work. I'm going to have you read some sentences and fill in the blank with the proper prepositions. So let's get started. All right, Hogan, why don't you start us off? Number
Yes,
one.
Number one.
Yeah.
I can't go out tonight. I need to look at a baby.
Okay.
Look for a baby.
Look for a baby? That's very funny. Did you lose a baby, Hogan? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's not it. Okay.
That's probably not it.
I need to look.
Okay. In this case, we're not even looking for a preposition. We're looking for an adverbial particle. We're trying to create a phrasal verb here.
Oh, okay. I need to look after a baby.
That's it. Exactly. To look after is similar to take care of something. You can look after a baby, look after someone's house while they're on vacation, look after a dog, whatever. Basically, to take care of it. Okay. Good job. So if you start thinking about what's the preposition, it can be confusing because it's really not a preposition. It's part of the verb. All right, Francisco, number two.
And there are so many people on the street. I wonder what's going on.
Very good. What's going on? Okay. Okay. Andre, how about number three?
Number 3. I don't think he will get blank his mother's dead so easily.
Okay. Again, I'll give you a clue. We're actually looking for a phrasal verb here. Okay. A phrasal verb that means recover. Get what?
And why? Recover.
The meaning is recover, basically. Any idea? No? Anyone else in class having a guess?
Get over.
That's it. Okay, very common phrase in English, especially among family and friends. When somebody seems to be obsessing about something or worrying about something too much, you might tell your friend or your sister or your brother, get over it. Oh, come on, get over it already. All right, recover, get back to normal. All right. Meeson, about number 4.
When did he come home last night? Around 8 o'clock?
Yep. You could definitely say around. What is another possibility?
Around at 8 o'clock?
At. Okay. What's the difference, Meeson? What's the difference between around 8 o'clock and at 8 o'clock?
At is exact time?
That's right.
Yes, around is around 8 o'clock.
Around is near.
Yeah, near, okay.
Maybe 7:55, maybe 8:05. We don't, whatever. Maybe before, maybe after. Right. At 8 o'clock is exact. So, okay, we could use other prepositions. We could use before 8 o'clock. We could use after 8 o'clock. Yeah, right.
Mm.
They're all possible. Okay, thank you. All right. Hogan, number 5.
Number 5. Children grow blank very fast these days. I think it's grow up.
Yeah, another phrasal verb here. I didn't realize there's so many phrasal verbs in this exercise. Okay, anyway. Oh, another one. Okay. All right. Francisco, number 6.
Okay, in spite of all the troubles, in the end, everything turned up well.
Not turned up. Again, another phrasal verb. Turn up means no. To turn up means to appear unexpectedly. He turned up at 3 o'clock. We were surprised to see him. All right. My watch turned up under the couch. I had no idea where it was. Nope. Not turned over.
Not turned over.
No. Nope. Actually, it's turned out.
Okay, turn out, yeah.
How did things turn out? How did things end?
Turned out well.
It turned out well. Can be positive or negative. Negative. It turned out very well. Turned out badly. Whatever. Okay. Yeah, another phrasal verb on number 7 here. Andre, number 7.
Number 7. I know it's hard, but you have to carry black with your life.
Okay. Okay, this is an infinitive phrasal verb. Carry, to
Black?
carry. Okay. The meaning is to continue. All right. So it's actually carry on.
Carry on. Okay.
Carry on. Carry on means to continue. You might hear someone, a sergeant in the army. It's actually almost a command, a regular command in English. Carry on, man. Continue. That. Okay, Meeson, here we go. Here's a true preposition, number 8.
My father was born in 1935.
Exactly. Very good. We use in to introduce a year in a longer period of time. In spring, in fall, in March, in 1935, in the 1960s, in the 1700s, in the Bronze Age. So we use it to introduce a longer period of time generally. We use on to introduce a day. On March 14th, on Friday morning, like that. Okay, Hogan, number 9.
Number 9. She met her husband in Wales, blank the time she was working in a pub. During the time?
Well, that's interesting.
Or by the time?
Not by the time. By the time would be in reference to something else. By the time he arrived, she had already finished work.
Okay.
So there's no other separate thing going on. So by the time is a useful phrase, but it's definitely used for two different actions.
How about at the time?
How about that? Okay, at that time, at the time. So we're meaning specifically at that particular time. Okay, that's it. Okay, well, that's worth talking about for just a second. Prepositions with the word time, because obviously that can be confusing. At the time, meaning at the specific time she met her husband. Okay, we talked about by the time. Okay, how would you use in the time, Hogan?
In the time?
Yeah.
I think the time period is a little bit longer when you say in the time.
It is.
Yeah.
You're talking about duration.
Duration,
Right.
yes. Yeah.
Okay. In the time of the dinosaurs, there were very few mammals. Okay. In the time of, yeah, right, a longer period of time. So talking about during that time, basically.
Okay.
Okay. Now, all right. What's the difference? Hold on a second. Here's a common. All right. Here's something that's often confusing. All right. Since I got you here. Okay. Hogan, what's the difference between being in time and on time?
For example, like you have an appointment and you arrive on time, that means you just exactly arrive the time you appointed. And in time is a little bit ahead, like 10 minutes before, like 20 minutes
Well,
before, at least. A little
well,
longer time, I guess.
almost, but not quite. You often would see just in time. Okay, the fire department arrived just in time to rescue my cat. If they were 1 minute later, my cat would have burned and died a
Okay.
horrible death. Okay, so we were just in time for the train. You arrived at 8:59 and 30 seconds. The train left at 9 o'clock sharp. So you just barely made it, just in time. So in time means very shortly before, and it infers that you nearly missed something, the train leaving, saving the cat, whatever, the meeting, whatever it may be. On time, actually, you have a doctor's appointment at 9 o'clock. It doesn't matter. If you show up just in time, then you're on time. As long as you're there by 9 o'clock. Maybe you got there at 8:30. Oh, yeah, I was on time. In fact, I was a half an hour early. So on time just stresses the idea that however earlier you were, whether it's 2 seconds or 2 hours, you were there at the appointed time. That's the idea.
Okay. Just a quick question.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I understand that just in time is very short period of time, but if you do not say just like in time, then I think it's a little bit the longer period. At least you are not late. So that's a little bit different than what I understood.
Well, well, it works the same way. Just is only used to show emphasis here.
Okay.
It's
So basically,
really
are you saying that
same
just
thing.
in time and in time is the same?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. It's just is stronger. You would tend to use for like saving somebody's life or almost missing the train. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Francisco, where are we now? Okay, number 10. Francisco, number 10.
Yes. Generations of my family have lived in this house since 1900.
Excellent. Since. Right. And there again, you will notice the present perfect tense in conjunction with since. Yep. Good job.
Okay.
Great. Andre, number 11.
John, who are your talking point? Point.
Point.
Yeah.
Point. No.
No?
No. We're looking for a preposition.
Talking about.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. Yeah, it could be. Yes. Okay. Okay. Can you think of any? That's possible. Okay, he's talking about somebody else. How about if John was on the phone? Okay, let's imagine that John is on the phone. What would you say, Andre?
You call? You receive the call? I don't know.
Okay. If John was talking on the phone and you observed him, you see him talking on the phone, you would likely say, John, who are you talking to?
Talking to.
Yeah, possibly with is okay here as well.
Okay.
All right. Meeson, number 12.
Okay. Talking of which? No.
Talking of which? Nope, that doesn't make any sense.
Which? No, okay.
Nope.
Okay.
I don't even know. Not sure what you're trying to say. Okay, Meeson.
Okay. They are famous in their roles.
No. Here we are trying to figure out a preposition that answers the question why. Why are they famous?
For.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. The preposition for is frequently used to explain why. As a preposition. Why? When the answer why is a noun, that is when you're going to see for.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Hogan, number 13.
But before that, what does it mean? They are famous for their roles.
Okay. I'm guessing you're asking about rows.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Very British. A row is an argument.
Oh, argument?
Yep. My wife and I had a big row last night. Now, again, this is very British, Hogan. Americans never use this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. All right, number 13. You are the only one I trust. Please don't let me. You are the only one I trust. Please don't let me down.
Excellent. This is very colloquial. It has really absolutely nothing to do with the purpose of the preposition. It is a preposition here, but it's basically an idiom or an expression. Don't let me down. What does that mean, Hogan? Do you know?
I'm guessing it's disappointing, right? Don't disappoint me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, right?
That's it. That's it
Okay.
exactly. Yep. That's exactly what it is. Very good. Francisco, number 14.
I don't know what's wrong with her. I haven't seen her since July.
Again, lucky you.
Yeah.
Okay, every single question you have the answer will be since. Okay. I didn't plan it. All right, Andre, number 15.
15. I'm looking for my
Very good.
sunglasses, but I can't find them.
Okay, again, why are you looking? If the answer is a noun, for. Yep. Excellent. Meeson, number 16.
The film starts at 7 o'clock.
Okay, in this case, it has to be 7 o'clock.
Yes.
A starting time, you're going to have to use at because it's clearly specific. Andre?
Yeah, it's specific for is o'clock is specific for all time.
Yeah, that's it's specific. It's 7.00.
Yeah.
Yeah. With an
Okay.
exact time. So we always use at with an exact time at 7:15, at 7:23, or even other words that refer to an exact time at noon, at midnight. Yeah. Okay. All right. Hogan, back to you. Number 17.
Number 17. Would you please turn blank the volume? It's too loud. I think it's turn down. Turn down the volume.
Yep.
I think
Turn down, make it less. What's the opposite?
Turn up.
turn off.
Turn up. If you turn up the volume, it gets louder. If you turn down the volume, it gets.
Okay, turn up.
Okay. Turn on or turn off. You turn on or turn off a light.
Yeah, yeah.
On,
Turn
it's
down,
off.
turn up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And actually, turn on, turn off, turn up, turn down. These are actually, again, phrasal verbs. It's not really functioning as a preposition. It's actually a phrasal verb. It's hard to tell because it's followed by a noun, but in fact, these are phrasal verbs.
Okay.
Turned up, turning up, could have turned up. Okay, they function just like a normal verb. All right. Andre, number 8.
When
Oh,
were
sorry. Yeah,
when
go ahead. Go ahead.
when were you born? In the December 10th. In
No.
no at no on the December.
On. We use on for days, either specific days like December 10th, the number, dates, I should say. That's a date. Okay.
Date.
Date or days. We use on. On Tuesday. On Friday mornings, I go jogging. On Christmas Day, I was at my mother's house. Okay. So when you're talking about a day, whether you're naming the day because it's a holiday or the actual date or number, doesn't matter. We always use on.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Francisco, I think I skipped you. So Francisco, 19.
Okay, 19. He was shocked when he heard, but after a while he carried on. For his whole life.
Not 4. Nope. This is
Carry on.
And
this is another one that's kind of a standard
Right.
phrase or an expression,
Carry on.
colloquial expression. Now, what? Anybody know? Anyone?
1 minute. 1 minute.
No. No.
Will,
With.
will,
Yeah, that's it. You
With
carry on with.
with.
It's basically it's the same as carry on, which means continue.
Okay.
But we often have it carry on with your work, carry on with your life, carry on.
Carry on with his whole life. Okay.
Okay, that's it. All right, Meeson, let's go back to you for number 20.
Why is your car parked on the road? We've run out of petrol.
And out of something. That's it, exactly. What does that mean? We've run out of petrol.
Far away from the petrol.
What it means is you have no petrol anymore. But
Yes.
you had some, now you don't have any. That's it.
Yes.
Okay, to run out. All right. If you run out of energy, you don't have any anymore. Okay. Hogan, number 21.
21. My sister is so jealous at her.
No.
Off.
No.
Off.
Yes,
My
actually.
sister is so jealous. Mm,
Jealous of you.
Yeah,
No?
of?
yeah, it is of.
Off.
Okay.
Yeah.
The common mistake I usually hear, not that you did it, but normally the mistake I hear is jealous with somebody, and it's not with. That's just totally wrong. You're jealous of somebody, or you can be jealous of something. She's jealous of her. I'm jealous of her hair. I wish I had her hair. Okay.
Yeah.
Occasionally, it's also okay to have jealous about something. She's jealous about my relationship with my boss, something like that. All right. Francisco, number 22.
Please don't be angry at me. I didn't think to do so.
Yes. Um,
People with me?
it can also be with. Don't be angry with me. That's right. Um, either one is okay. Sometimes when we're thinking about prepositions, the first half of class, I was trying to give you some guidelines, some general rules. Sometimes there really are no rules or guidelines at all. It has to do with the just acceptable, normal collocation that everybody's used to saying. So that's the collocation of verb and preposition we always use.
It's possible to. It's about me.
Don't be angry about me. No, that doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
You can say about something. Don't be angry about. Um, don't be angry about losing your job.
Okay, okay.
Something like that. Yes. Don't be angry about. Okay, tripping on the stairs. Notice when I do the about, it's followed by a gerund, an ing verb. That's worth noting as well. Andre, number 23.
Uh, the 23.
23. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. The box he have me was full of candy.
Very good. Full of candies.
Of
Excellent.
candy. I'm
Yep.
sorry.
It's okay. Okay. Meeson, number 24.
My children are afraid of dogs.
Okay. What are you afraid of, Meeson?
Scary.
What are you scary? What are you afraid of?
Ah, me.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. Okay,
Sure.
I don't like animals.
You don't like animals?
Yes,
Oh,
some.
oh, come on. Animals are nice. All right. Okay, Hogan, a nice long one. Triple
Okay.
whammy here.
Jane is arriving at January 26th at
No.
2 o'clock. No? Um,
You got this one right. At for a specific time.
yeah. The first one is on. Jane is arriving on
Yes, it's a day.
the day. Yeah, on January 26th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
In for a longer period of time. That's it.
Yeah.
On for day. At specific time. In for a longer period of time. Very good. Well, I actually have 50 questions here. We made it halfway through, and that's pretty commendable. But we are out of time. So thank you very much. Hopefully you learned some basic guidelines for using prepositions and maybe a phrasal verb or two and maybe an expression or two. I hope so anyway. Thank you very much, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Take care of yourselves.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You.